Her eyes were taped shut. Her ears were plugged with molded speakers, blasting clicks at 95 decibels, loud enough to drown out any sound in the room. Her brain showed zero electrical activity. Her heart had stopped. Her blood had been drained from her head. By every medical definition that exists, Pam Reynolds was dead. She was dead for 45 minutes, and when they brought her back, she described exactly what the surgeons were doing, what tools they were using, and what they were saying to each other, in a room she could not see, could not hear, and whose details she could not have known. This is not a ghost story. This is a documented medical case, and nobody, not one scientist in 30 years, has been able to fully explain it. August 1991, Atlanta, Georgia. Pam Reynolds is 35 years old, a singer-songwriter, a mother, a completely ordinary woman by every measure, until she starts losing the ability to speak. Her words come out wrong. Her body won't move the way it should. She goes to the doctor. They run a scan. What they find stops everyone in the room. A giant aneurysm. A swollen blood vessel at the base of her brain, right at the brainstem, the part of you that keeps you breathing, keeps your heart beating, keeps you alive. It is on the edge of rupturing. When it does, she will die instantly. There is one surgery that might save her. It has only been attempted a handful of times in the world. They call it a cardiac standstill. The neurosurgeon who performs it, Dr. Robert Spetzler, one of the most respected brain surgeons on the planet, explains it to her plainly. We are going to cool your body to 60 degrees Fahrenheit, stop your heart, drain all the blood from your brain, and operate in complete silence while you are clinically dead. Then we will bring you back. Though she and her family is horrified listening to this, she agrees, considering this is the only way out. On August 8, 1991, as the Barrow Neurological Institute in Phoenix, Arizona, Pam is wheeled in at 7:15 in the morning. She is put under full anesthesia. Her eyes are taped shut. Molded speakers are inserted in both ears, emitting continuous 95 decibel clicks, monitoring her brainstem and making it physically impossible to hear anything in the room. Her skull is opened. At 10:50 in the morning, they lower her body temperature, 60 degrees. Her heart goes into fibrillation, then stops. The EEG flatlines. Her brainstem goes silent. Her cerebral hemispheres go dark. The blood is drained from her brain through a machine. She is clinically, verifiably, measurably dead. And this, right here, is the moment that Pam Reynolds says she woke up. She describes floating above her own body, looking down at the operating table, noticing the surgical saw they used to open her skull. She described it as looking like an electric toothbrush with interchangeable bone drill bits stored in a case like the one my father keeps his socket wrenches in. She heard a voice say, "Her arteries are too small." She heard Dr. Spetzler respond, "Use the other side." Both of those things did happen. The surgical team confirmed it. The conversation took place while her brain showed zero electrical activity and her ears were blocked by 95 decibel speakers. Then she says she felt herself being pulled away, into a tunnel, toward a light. And standing there, her grandmother, her uncle, who had died years earlier, both of them telling her it wasn't time. She says she didn't want to come back. She says her body, when she saw it from above, looked like a train wreck. When the surgeons restarted her heart, she says she heard Hotel California by the Eagles begin playing in the operating room. It was. That too was confirmed. Now, here's where it gets complicated. Every single detail Pam described, the saw, the conversation, the song, occurred during a window when her brain was flatlined. Not merely unconscious, not sedated, flatlined. No blood, no oxygen, no measurable electrical activity of any kind. The medical literature is very clear about what a flatlined brain is capable of. Nothing. Perception requires neural activity, Memory requires neural activity. Consciousness requires neural activity. She had none, and yet she remembered, accurately, verifiably. Patients in clinical death maintain consciousness despite the complete absence of brain function. And in many hospital cases, this has been documented with professional medical oversight. Pam Reynolds is the most airtight example of this that science has ever produced. So what did the scientists say? They've been arguing about it for 30 years. In 2024, researchers at the University of Michigan published landmark findings showing that 2 dying patients exhibited a massive surge of brain activity at the moment of death, even after life support was withdrawn and their brains had gone quiet. The current leading scientific model says, when the brain is deprived of oxygen, it triggers a chain reaction, a massive release of noradrenaline and serotonin, firing the consciousness centers into overdrive at the very moment the body is shutting down. A final storm, a last surge of everything the brain has. That, say the scientists, is your tunnel, your light, your deceased grandmother. It's beautiful and it's devastating at the same time. But here is what that model cannot explain about Pam Reynolds. Her brain wasn't depriving of oxygen and surging. Her brain had no blood in it at all. The storm had already ended. The power was off. The building was empty. And she was still seeing, still hearing, still remembering. Science explains the experience. It cannot explain the accuracy. Every major religion has a name for what Pam experienced. In Christianity, it is the soul departing the body, the moment of separation before judgment. In Islam, it is the ruh, the spirit, leaving through the throat, witnessed by angels at the moment of death. In Hinduism, it is the Atman rising, the self untethered from the physical, and the tunnel of light is the path toward reincarnation or liberation. In Judaism, the moment of death is the separation of the neshama, the breath soul, from the body. Studies show that people across wildly different religions and cultures report the same core elements: the out-of-body sensation, the tunnel, the light, the encounter with deceased relatives, the life review, and the profound, overwhelming sense of peace. Religion has been saying this for thousands of years. Science has been trying to catch up. Neither has won the argument yet. When Pam Reynolds was brought back, when the blood was returned to her brain, when her heart restarted, when Hotel California played and the surgeons cheered, she described the re-entry into her body. She said it felt like plunging into a pool of ice water. She said she didn't want to come back. She said what was on the other side was so overwhelmingly, incomprehensibly peaceful that returning to her own body felt like a punishment. She lived 19 more years after that surgery. She spoke about her experience for the rest of her life. She never wavered, not once. Not in any interview, not under any scientific scrutiny, not in any detail. She died in 2010 of heart failure at 53. And here is what keeps me awake. Between 5 and 10% of the general population reports memories of a near-death experience. That is potentially hundreds of millions of people on this planet who have seen what Pam saw, who floated above their own bodies, who moved toward the light, who met people they had lost. And almost all of them say the same thing she said. They didn't want to come back. Whatever is on the other side of death, if Pam Reynolds is any evidence, it is not something to be afraid of, which somehow makes it more terrifying. There have been thousands of such cases in the past few decades like this, but till date, this is one of those mysteries that is yet to be explained by science. Until then, let's keep exploring. Let me know in the comments below if you are aware of any other more mysterious and scary near-death experience story. Would love to know more about this fascinating mystery. Until next time, do like, share, and subscribe to Horror and Mysteries. Thank you for watching.